Merry Vlogmas Shalligators. We are kicking off, hopefully, maybe sort of close, 30 days of videos in December. It's my Christmas treat to you. Or if you hate me, it's actually the coal in your stocking. So sorry. We might not make exactly 31 videos, but you know what? I'm still gonna give you guys a ton of stuff to watch this month as the holidays are ramping up, the year is winding down, we're thinking about gift giving and money and family and exes and snow outfits and the new year and resolutions. It's a lot. So I wanted to kick this off because it's engagement season. Ho, ho, ho. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, it's engagement season. So today we're going to talk about how to survive it, how to deal with engagement season if you're single and you're dealing with like the influx of happy people like me. I said, yes, we get it, Bethany. We fucking get it. It's different when you're just out of a relationship and you didn't know you were going to be single this holiday. So that video is coming. Some videos on gift giving when you don't have a lot of money, because I've been there and I can tell you what I've done and what I appreciated other people doing for me. I would love some family topics. We're going to talk about like dealing with family who has different political opinions and how to set resolutions that are actually going to stick, plus some story times, and of course, all of our typical celeb related content as it pops up. But before we get started, just want to remind you that if you do need a Christmas present for a friend, a loved one, or most importantly, yourself, Cameo is a great option. It's a personalized little video from me to you. Or you can pick up something from the new SLXO clothing line collection. We have Rich and Sad and Evil is More Fun, plus some new drops getting ready on the way. Or if you need to just talk something out with me one-on-one, head to my website, shallonlester.com, and click Submit a Question. You can also opt to get help in just 24 hours. The holidays are stressful. We don't have a lot of time. I got you, girl. So let's kick off Vlogmas. Okay, all right. Engagement season. Now we touched on this a little bit with our Lindsay Lohan video. And I know I owe you guys the con artist video. Don't worry, that's going to be coming. I just didn't want to kick Vlogmas off with it. You know, we're like feeling all rosy and peppermint mocha-y and like merriment and gaiety and frivolity. So you know what? We can, besides, I love to see someone sweat. I mean, isn't that half the fun? Isn't that half the war? What a little Christmas present to myself. Anyway, we are going to talk about engagement season. Because yeah, we touched on this a little with the Lindsay Lohan video. She's engaged and we did a video on why shitty people keep succeeding, right? Because Lindsay sucks and she just seems to keep like failing upward. Like okay. And I know we see this all the time. But also when I asked you guys about a possible topic, a lot of you guys were like, how to stop looking at engagement as success? Like, how do we stop telling ourselves that to be successful as a woman involves a fucking dude and a diamond on your finger, you know? And that is really true. So I really thought that kind of deserved its own video topic. Because yeah, it's engagement season. Now look, I got engaged on Christmas Eve. I'm part of the problem. I'm not part of the solution. And it's natural that it would be like this. People are with their families, you know, they're thinking about the future. They're winding down a year. They're reflecting. And it gives you like, you know, most people get married in the summer or the fall. So you can like plan your wedding. Okay. Ugh, it like makes my back hurt even thinking about being married, right? It like puts my tail in a twist. No matter where you are in life, I realize that this is the truth. Whether you're single and like fine with it, whether you're single and not very fine with it, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married, there's something about people getting engaged that just makes us sick. We're like, Bethany's engaged. I'm engaged. Like, we're happy for our friends. We are. We're happy. Oh, yay. But there's this like layer of sadness under it.
Did you ever see the movie Bride Wars? Ugh.
There's a scene where her and Anne Hathaway are walking down the street and they're talking about their friend who had just gotten married, but she's already getting divorced. And Kate Hudson's like, where are our divorces? And that line, I was like, yes. I like, you feel that. Not that you want to get divorced, but it's like, she's so much further down the line of life than me. I'm not even engaged, and she's already engaged, married, and divorced. And I'm like cosplaying as a grown-up. I feel like it's going to resonate with you guys too. It's a very woman-specific feeling. Like, I'm not even engaged yet, and she's already completed this cycle and is ready to start the second cycle, and I'm okay, got it. And if you're single and you see people getting engaged, it's like, I don't even have a boyfriend. And again, you're happy for them, sort of. I mean, you are, I guess. It's not like you want them to do poorly, but you can't help but compare yourself. And comparison, like we said, truly is the root of all unhappiness. When you think about it, it's the root of bitterness. Because what is bitterness? Bitterness is, I don't have what someone else has. I like my car. What the fuck is that in the other lane? Oh my God. My boyfriend's cute. He's tall. Oh, he's a 6'3". Ex-pro football player. What are you looking at, Gary? Like, comparison makes us bitter because it turns what we have into not enough. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Comparison and bitterness is the inverse of gratitude. Anxiety is the inverse of gratitude. So we're going to talk about how to beat this. Okay, let's start. First of all, there's pretty much two lanes you're in with this engagement thing. Either you do want to get engaged and that's why it hurts you to see other people getting what you want, or you don't want to get engaged. Let's talk about that second, okay? Because that's the camp I'm in. But I have a feeling if you're drawn to this video, there's something that's like, maybe the urgency is, maybe it's different, you know? Maybe some of you are like, I have been with my boyfriend longer than that chick is with hers. She's engaged. I'm not. It's not even on his radar. We haven't talked about it, or we have, but he's not making any moves. He knows how I feel. Okay, let's talk this out. It's a tricky balance to strike about having a timeline for your life. You know, we only get one life. We only have a certain amount of time. We only have a certain amount of fertility, if that's something, you know, that you're thinking about. And listen, I am not going to be that girl that contributes to this fertility holocaust that's being foisted on women. This like, freeze your eggs, freeze your eggs, freeze your eggs. You only have like a 15% chance of thawing them out and having them be viable. It's about $1,000 per percent. It's expensive, you know, but whatever, do it. If it makes you feel better, if it makes you make better decisions when it comes to dating, great. Like, that alone will increase your fertility, is less stress, but I digress. It is true that we have a set amount of time to accomplish certain things. Men have more time to do this. I mean, this is unfair. And so there's less urgency for them often, or they might like get that we have like a ticking clock or whatever, but they don't like get it the way we get it, the way our parents tell us to get it, the way society tells us to get it, you know? It's a completely different set of messaging for them. But a quality guy understands this. He might not like get it, mind meld get it, but he's like, I respect that, like, she's got a timeline. She doesn't want to be a 40-year-old mom. She doesn't want to be a 35-year-old bride. Nothing wrong with that. She has a plan for her life. So it's tricky. Like, you don't want to script your life so tightly that there's no room for discovery or spontaneity, or really what it is facing the writing on the wall that someone is maybe not your person. It's like, but I've already spent 10 years with him and I have to keep going. 10 years sucks. 10 years in one day is worse. So on one hand, yeah, we don't want to live and die by this schedule, this rigidity. On the other, we do have the right to say, hey, I have a vision for my life. I would love to be a mom by the time I'm 35. I want to see my kids go off to college at a certain point in my life. We have a right to have somewhat of a timeline for our life. Maybe your timeline is super rigid. That's your right also. And we, therefore, have not only the right to communicate this with our partner, I believe we have an obligation. Did you know that when two people move in together, they have an 85% chance of getting married? I've cited this statistic before. At exactly a year and a half, if they're not engaged, it drops down to 11%. Now, 11% is something. I mean, there's plenty of people in that category of 11%, probably hundreds of thousands of them, right? But I'm not a betting woman. I'm a data-driven person. And I know that more often than not, I'm not the exception. I'm not an 11%er. I'm probably an 85%er. So if you've been living with someone for years and years and years, and you're not getting engaged, or if that year and a half is coming up and he won't even discuss engagement, you might want to walk the mental path of what if this actually doesn't happen? If someone won't talk about something, that's probably a bad sign. Look, I'm not here to terrify you and make this worse. It's like, well, I didn't know exactly why I hated seeing other people get engaged, but now I do. Hey, look, girl, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And if you're with someone who is just wasting your time and they just want to wind down the fucking clock, right? It's like, well, maybe they want kids. They're just going to spin that clock out until it's no longer a choice for you. Oh, damn. Gosh, honey, I was okay with IVF, but I guess it's too late. Oh, no. I've seen it happen. So if the reason you're feeling some type of way about engagement season is because your own relationship is not moving forward in the way you want it to, you have the right and, again, the obligation to communicate that or bring it up with your partner. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to be honest. I'm seeing all these girls getting engaged on my feed and it hurts me. Like it's painful for me because I really don't understand where this relationship is heading. You know, you won't talk about it, or maybe we have. And I'm not saying I need to go with you to pick out the ring and I need to know the date, but I do need some sort of assurance that we're on the same page. And a lot of times engagement is the thing that tells you that. That's why I wanted to get engaged. I had been burned and hurt so many times before that, and times with people that I thought we were on the same page. Like the guy I was telling you about in that previous Adele video, what happens when you lose your soulmate? Like I thought that this dude was my soulmate, and then literally one day he dumped me for a stripper. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was thinking we were going to like be together and live together. I mean, I was like annihilated. And so when I was with my ex-husband, like when we were still dating, I was very focused at a certain point when that year and a half was coming up. Are we going to get engaged? Because I was used to things just falling apart. I was used to being blindsided. Now, in hindsight, there was not one single iota of data that said to me, he's got one foot outside the door. You know, was there in the previous dude who dumped me? Honestly, yes. I mean, there were. He said he always cheated on everyone he's ever dated. My husband never did. You know, my husband and I lived together. We were devoted. Our families were blended. Like, there was no need to be like, but we have to be married. I have to have an engagement ring. I realized that too late. So please learn from my mistakes. But again, if that's what you want, girl, you're allowed to want that. I'm not trying to talk you out of marriage or engagement, but just try to do it for the right reasons. If you're looking at it as this like rubber stamp, like we're good, you should be good no matter what, ring or no ring. An engagement doesn't change anything. Marriage doesn't even change anything. All the problems that were still there, they can get worse because now it's like I'm stuck with those wet towels on the floor for the rest of my life. Okay. Things get really real really fast. That annoying sister, she's going to be at every Thanksgiving, not just here and there. So really look at what's driving this need. But let's say you really want to get engaged, but you don't have a boyfriend. You're not coupled up. It's just this like thing that is giving you this wound because you are looking at it like the bridesmaid thing. Where's our divorces? You're looking at it like it's this. Talk about a rubber stamp of approval. Like life has approved you. Approved. Blue check mark. Verified, worthy human and woman. Right? That's what you're looking at this like. And you're like, no, Shallon, I'm looking at engagement because I'd really like a partner. I'd really like a life partner. I get that. I get that for sure. And that is the right attitude. You should be, if you're going to be envious of people who are getting engaged, that is exactly the right reason. But let's dismantle that a little bit. What do you think that partnership is going to unlock for you? And I'm not saying the answer is nothing. I'm not saying that you're deluding yourself to think that way. No, there's a lot of things that you kind of do need a partner for, depending on how you feel about it. Children. You know, I don't want to be a single mom, you know? And my friend's like, would you ever have a baby on your own? I'm like, no, my mom did because she really wanted a baby. I don't. So if I had a partner that I really, really loved and he brought a lot to the table, I might change my mind about kids. And so in that sense, like I would love to meet the love of my life, the next love of my life, 1 out of 10, you know, the next third of my loves, because I would like to know if that changes my mind about kids. And in that sense, there is sort of like a clock that's at play. But look, I bet if you're honest with yourself, are not even honest with yourself. If you really throw back the curtain on this desire for a boyfriend or a partner or whatever, and look, this doesn't have to be fiance, this could just be a boyfriend. I bet it's not such an obstacle as you think it is. I remember when my husband and I partnered up when we started dating, and I was just like in nesting mode times a billion. I was baking, I was decorating, we were doing like the pumpkin patches and the apple picking and the this and the, just all that basic bitch shit, all that basic bitch couple shit. And I was so happy to be so domestic. And looking back, I didn't need him for those things. My friends would have gone apple picking. My friends would have gone to the pumpkin patch. I could have baked for my friends and my family and my coworkers. I could have feathered my own little nest and decorated and had parties. And yeah, it's great with a partner. It is. Love is wonderful. And again, I'm not trying to talk you out of love. I'm trying to talk you out of the monopoly of love. That only with a boyfriend can you do this. Only with a fiance can you feel this kind of freedom, stability, worthiness, direction. No. Listen, I have truly never been happier in my life than I am now. I'm divorced as fuck, single as fuck, live alone as fuck. I live in the country. But you know what? I've given myself all the things I was always waiting for a guy to give me. All of them, you know? If I want to have a cozy, wonderful Christmas party and get all dressed up, I do it. I have my girlfriends over. They compliment me. I'm like, okay. It's nice if a guy's there complimenting you. Baby, you look great. But you know what? Love is love. Dog love is love. Mom love is love. Friend love is also love. If you allow it to be. Why have you told yourself that the only love, the only stability, the only way to be seen is by a guy? Have you met guys? They're very disappointing. I mean, they're one-dimensional and dumb and just stupid. You know I love boys. You know I'm boy crazy, and this isn't a man-hating video, and I'm not a man-hater, but like I really can count on one hand the number of guys I've met who are as impressive as my friends. And I don't know that I've ever met a guy who's more impressive, who's funnier, who's more thoughtful, who's kinder, who's more adventurous and ambitious. I mean, there would be maybe one of those things. All of those things? I mean, no, I haven't. So when I realized that, and I was forced to realize it after my divorce, when it's like, okay, well, I don't have a guy, so what am I going to do? Either be miserable forever, every Christmas, every Easter, every summer, every whatever, because I don't have a guy, or am I going to turn this around and look for all the guy things that I get from the rest of my life that I've been ignoring? I'm not saying give up on love. I'm not saying don't date or don't aspire to be engaged or get married. I'm just saying you're not as alone as you think you are. You are not as in an overdraft state, missing these things as your mind, your fear mind is trying to tell you. And therefore, these girls who are getting engaged aren't winning the way that you think either. It's great to have a life partner, but it's great in the way it's great to go from unemployed to having a job. Now, if that was the case, it's very stressful not to have a job. But when someone gets a job, you acknowledge that there's a whole new set of stressors that come with it. Now you don't have all this free time. You can't sleep in. You're tired. Yeah, you don't have to worry about bills as much or direction in your life or when people ask you what you're doing. Okay, yeah, for sure. But it is the beginning of new problems. Coworkers, bitchy managers, having to ask for time off, right? We acknowledge that and we face it with open eyes, realism. We don't take it personally. It's like, well, that's the way it is. We don't do that with marriage. We don't do that with relationships. You know, it's being single is horrible and being in a relationship is perfect. I mean, not that I've found. The older I get, the more crotchety, like this, horned dowager, like this woodland forest creature. I like my alone time. I don't like having to check in with someone or ask them, well, what do you think about going to Chili's for dinner? If I want to go to motherfucking Chili's, I go to motherfucking Chili's, man. I take my friends. I see which of my friends organically want to go. I don't have to talk them into anything. break up with myself. I give myself the boy. I date myself, right? Doesn't mean I want to be alone forever like the Incredible Hulk. I'm still dating. I'm still looking around for someone. But because I am more stable on my own, I'm much more magnetic to guys. And I can see through the bullshit easier because I'm allowing myself to see it. I'm not dating out of desperation. I don't have a beggar's mentality. No one needs to save me from anything. I like my life. A guy is a compliment, like a complimentary angle. He's not a completion. He's the parsley on the plate. I'm the steak and potatoes, honey. But that took a while to get here, and it wasn't easy. But the first thing to do, the first step, is to acknowledge that, yeah, being in a relationship doesn't save you from anything. If you think it does, lean into that. Get to the root of that. What does that mean? What's it saving you from? Answer the question. Boredom? Unworthiness? Pressure from your family? What if you could just give that to yourself? I bet you, if you really tried, you could give yourself 80% of what you need. You know how I know? I'm doing it right now. I have made it my goal to give myself the boy shit, to date myself. And then I realize, what's left over? Like, what do I need a guy for that I can't get myself, that my friends can't give me? What is it? And it's literally sex. I mean, it is. I am lucky enough that I have great friends. I have people that I can talk to when I have a bad day. I had a bad day when I was dating this dude a few weeks ago, and he's like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, I wouldn't even be your friend. If you don't have a penis attached to you, you wouldn't even be an acquaintance to me. You're utterly, completely useless. And when you look that in the face, which I could because I don't have that beggar's mentality, because I am happy in my life, I was like, you're just a wiener. You're just a wiener. It's a big one. I gotta say, it's a big one, but that's kind of all you are. So we must redefine the nature of our association. I said this to him. I said, I just don't feel like my standards are being met here. So we must redefine the nature of our association. It's a line from Tombstone. If guys know that movie, they really don't like to hear that because they know what it means. I'm like, look, I don't think it's right that we date each other. I don't really see kind of the point. I'm not getting anything out of this except for sex. So let's just redefine and let's be booty calls. Didn't go over well. I knew it wouldn't, you know, like I was basically breaking up with him. I was downgrading him, putting on the B string, sending him back to the minors. But it's like, well, you don't bring anything to the table. And again, I can look that in the face, not take it personally, because bitch, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't think you would have reacted any differently to that. I've had a bad day. If I was a Victoria's Secret model, I don't think you would have. Like, that's you. That's not me. I can accept that because I am whole on my own. But let's talk about engagement things when you don't want to be engaged. Because, like, you know, I think a lot of us are somewhere in the middle. It's like, again, we don't want to roam the earth alone like a giant tortoise, but we also don't want to be like wifed up. It's like, I just want a boyfriend. I just want to be in love. And I want to be in the Kourtney Kardashian, Travis Barker kind of love, the MGK, Megan Fox love, the wild, crazy hickeys at Knott's Berry Farm, annoying Instagram PDA, I don't even care how stupid I look, love. And I'm not going to settle for anything less. I'm just not, you know? So I feel like a lot of you guys are kind of in that place where it's like you can look at people getting engaged and you're like, ugh, God, I'm like happy for you. And it jumbles up all these feelings. It's like, well, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel this sort of like dark twistiness when I don't even want that? So like, what am I so pissed about? Well, I think society tells us we're supposed to want it, you know? We are supposed to want, what do you mean? You don't want to be a bride tribe. She said I do. Last fling before the ring, bride tribe. Right? It's so much attention. It's so much, and I've said this before in videos, like when girls, I'm sorry I keep doing this, but I'm trying to put this pillow behind my back. My back is like killing me. I'm meant to be flat on my back at all times. Interpret as you will. When I was graduating from college, a lot of my sorority sisters got engaged. And I remember being jealous of them because no one was asking them about their career. No one asks you about your career when you're a bride. And we picked out the venue. It's like, okay, but have you like made your presentation for that promotion? Oh my God, Rachel, like we're picking napkin rings, okay? Like people don't put that pressure on you. It's like your engagement year is a dead year for any other goal except for losing weight. I mean, shedding for the wedding, right? And planning your wedding and planning your family and planning your future. Suddenly, that career thing, oh, oh my God, but you're a bride, right? And that's probably why my sorority sisters got engaged. They didn't know what they were going to do. And I look at them now and they have careers, but they don't have like dreams that they've chased, you know, because the time in their life when they were supposed to be doing that hard work and chasing those things and being an intern and eating ramen and like going for that fucking gold, they spent picking out napkin rings. And they spent picking out things at Home Goods to furnish their new house with their husband as he was losing more hair every day and getting paunchier by the fucking minute. Okay, they developed a career, but there was either no dream that they had and they're like, okay, this is my thing. And listen, I know it sounds like I'm shitting all over them. I'm not. Like, but it's just so antithetical to me. Like, I always had like dreams. You know, I wasn't stockpiling recipes. I was stockpiling like Oscar acceptance speeches, you know, drafts for that. Like, that's just me. My parents raised nerds and nerds work. So if that is your dream, like, that's fine. We already covered you in the beginning of the video. So now we're on to the career checks, okay? No dream that they had, or they were scared to go after this and after it. And this seemed like sort of like a pause button. You know how some people just keep going to school instead of like actually getting a job and entering the real world? They're going to grad school, first or fifth year, then grad school. How about a PhD? How about 10 PhDs? Ha ha ha. They just never leave academia. And some people just genuinely love it there. But some people, and even if you're an academic, you know, there's some people there because they just kind of can't make it out in the real world. They don't want to do it, you know? And there's people who use marriage and engagement for the exact same reason. And so because society rewards that so big, when we don't want something that society has conditioned us to want and reward vociferously, we feel outside of society. Those social inclusion needs kick in, right? Our number one need after food and shelter, we got to be included. You go to a party store, aisles and aisles and aisles of bride shit. Magazines, aisles and aisles of bride magazines. How many congratulations on your promotion balloons have you ever seen? Congratulations on your book deal. I've never seen any. Congratulations on that corner office. Congratulations on getting this many followers. It's not what society tells us we are supposed to want. It's such an easy thing to reward. And so again, if we're on the outside of that, we're like, well, fuck. Am I producing enough? Am I achieving enough to make it worth it to be on the outside of this? You know, I ask myself that. The reason I hustle so hard and strive so hard is because I am so afraid people are going to say to me or think, oh, no kids, no husband either. Oh gosh, Shallon, it's just you alone with that dog who probably doesn't like you. I see the way he looks. No, I see it. I see the way he looks at you. It's kind of like a hostage. Yeah, I know. I want my life to be so big and so bright that it blinds the haters. You know what I mean? It just blocks out everything. No one will ever look at my life and say that it's sad. No one will look at me and say I'm a loser because I'm not married with kids. No one will question me. Do I sound insane? I sound insane when I'm saying it out loud to myself. You know, I'm saying it out loud. But I think you guys get what I'm talking about, right? And look, if that's the thing that motivates me to hustle hard, okay. There's worse things. Like, we've all got to be motivated by something, you know? And so if that's what it is, to craft a life that is so awesome and so fulfilling that people don't question why I don't have a husband or kids, all right. Now, I bet I know what the smarty pants out there are saying. Well, Shao, it kind of sounds like you're projecting. Kind of sounds like you're projecting, like, oh, the Greek chorus. You're foisting your own either insecurities or deep-seated truths onto society in general. Is it that you think other people are going to say you're sad because you don't have a husband or kids? Or do you actually think that? Do you actually want both of those things? And you're just afraid to admit it, so you're just clinging to this career thing like a drowning man. Honestly, no. Because listen, I was married And we could have had kids, easiest thing in the world. But I didn't have the fulfillment I have now. I had maybe the same amount of stress, but this is stress, but I feel so fulfilled and so self-actualized. So and believe me, I check in with myself on this whole kid thing all the time. And it's like, I think you got to feel it. It's got to come from inside. It's just not. A boyfriend or a husband, that would be nice. But it would be nice to have the perfect partner. Again, I'm not going to settle for less. So until I meet that perfect person, I'm Gucci. I'm good right now. And so what else am I going to put my energy into except for fulfilling my own dreams? Because when I meet that perfect person, that energy is going to get diverted. If we have kids, even more energy diverted. If Cowboy gets a little snouty brother or four-legged sister, more energy diverted. So why not use the time I have and the energy I have now, because it might change, to really give it all I got, But listen, you have to check in with yourself too. If this resentment is born of a dream deferred, if it's something you're just not looking at, look at it. Look at it. You're never going to achieve something you don't acknowledge. It's not going to find you in your home like a traveling salesman, right? Whatever your dream is, whether it's the corner office or a double stroller, it's possible. But not if you don't accept it and acknowledge it. And it's also completely okay. I think, I as a single child-free girl, it's like I view society as telling us that like kids and marriage is like the big ultimate thumbs up. But I know a lot of you guys who are stay-at-home moms are like, no, we get the opposite. I feel the opposite. Like I'm a fucking loser. Like I don't exist in society if I'm just home with my kids. And it just goes to show, it's like when you're a woman, like it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're a fucking monster. You're doing it wrong. Whatever you're doing is wrong. Lose weight, not like that. Love your body, not that way. Be happy, not with that. Like it's just never ending. And the point is, fuck them. Fuck them all. Screw everyone who tells you what lane to be in. Screw them all. If you're happy with kids, girl, do it. If you're happy in that corner office, yeah. Bend it over the desk. Give it to that career. Fuck what anyone else has to say. They don't have to live your life. They don't have to live in your consequences. You maybe have to deal with their disappointment in you, if it's even real. Usually it's just our imagination. Like people aren't actually saying, they don't give a shit. People are so focused on their own life, they don't really care about ours. You don't have to deal with their disappointment for more than maybe a few minutes a month. You have to deal with yourself and your own life and your own truths 24 hours a day. So just because someone gets engaged doesn't mean it's a happy ending. Being engaged was one of the worst years of my life. It's so stressful. It is insanely expensive. If you break down what you spend on a wedding per hour, it's like, I think we spent like $15,000 an hour. It's insane. It's insane, right? And it just gets that way. You don't start off assuming it's going to be insane, but then somehow you spent $400 on diptyque candles so that your wedding has a scentscape that literally no one notices because the ceilings are so high and they can't smell the candles at all. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Like everyone goes bridal crazy at some point. So look, this is not the end all be all. It's the end of some problems. She's not going to have to worry about guys hitting on her at the bar or a dude sending a dick pic on Tinder. She's not going to have to worry about that. She's going to have to worry about the dick she's marrying for the rest of her life. It's probably not that big. They rarely are. She's going to have to worry about in-laws. She's going to have to worry about never having that first kiss feeling again, right? We still get to have that. We still have our happy ending that is yet to be written. And you know what? There is no ending. It's happy chapter. Maybe that's a person for a season. Maybe that's a person for a reason. Maybe they're here for the long haul. Maybe not. But we're going to survive and we're going to keep going on. The root though, know thyself. Love thyself. Date thyself. Be the man you want to marry. Because a wise woman once said, Mom, I am a rich man. We're going to be back with more Vlogmas topics. I'm so excited. More red lipstick, more red pillows.